The Ruby Princess has shadowed the coast of Sydney ever since its controversial return to port more than a week ago. Hi, June. How are you feeling?
I still feel stressed.
June Hardimon and her husband Ray were among the thousands of passengers who came ashore that day.
It was an engagement present for my grandson and his fiancée.
After she returned home, June began feeling unwell.
I felt nauseous a few times on and off and had a few temperatures. I am an asthmatic and I have a lung problem. She said, you're at high risk. So that's what we did. And then the next day I got the results to say I was positive.
The news came as a shock to 74-year-old June and husband Ray, who is caring for her.
With this virus, it's something that cannot be played around with. And me being at high risk, of course it has caused a lot of stress in my body.
I'm very worried about my parents. I haven't been able to see them after they came back from this cruise. And all I want to do is hug Mum and Dad.
In an email exchange with Princess Cruises the day before the ship docked, their daughter was told, "We have a ship full of healthy guests and healthy crew. There are no coronavirus cases on board." 7:30 asked the ship's owners, Carnival Australia, when the health situation changed. The company didn't respond.
I was told that there was no one on that cruise ship with COVID-19 or ill passengers. They were herded off the Ruby Princess like cattle. Passports were not checked, ID cards were not checked.
I found it was very frightening because I thought one lady on the ship had died and that upset me, and I thought, well dear, I don't want to be the next one.
The 2,700 people on board have now spread far and wide, returning to homes in Wollongong, Port Augusta, Darwin, Melbourne, Moreton Bay, and even abroad to the United States.
Closed environments where people mix together intensely, such as cruise ships, prisons, aged care facilities, are all at high risk for outbreaks, and when those outbreaks happen, they tend to be more severe than outbreaks in other settings.
Passengers from 3 other cruise ships also disembarked in Sydney in the last 2 weeks. Karina Rogers and her daughter were on the Voyager of the Seas, which arrived in Sydney on March 18.
It started out really good. Everyone was happy, everyone was drinking, there was music. We had a great time.
During the cruise, they met Gary Kirstenfield and his wife Jenny.
5 o'clock every day, we sit at the same table, and they were just another couple with their daughter. Gary was funny. He was always had something to say, always smiling, really just he had a lot of personality.
Last week, they turned on the news and were shocked to discover that Gary had died in hospital days after testing positive for coronavirus.
It didn't really hit home until last night, when we heard about Gary, because there's a death on the ship now. That's how quick this has spread.
Karina now has coronavirus too.
But it was a big shock because I thought, what am I going to tell people?
While the Voyager was still at sea, it was rerouted to the Port of Eden on the southern coast of New South Wales, a community heavily affected by the summer bushfire disaster.
We have one district hospital which has a handful of anaesthetists, a handful of ventilators, and it's not equipped to deal with a mass outbreak.
Merimbula GP Jacqueline Brown campaigned with 40 other local medical practitioners to oppose the cruise ship's arrival. They succeeded, and the ship was diverted to Sydney.
I think we had a near-miss situation that we were able to foresee that this posed a risk to our community. I still feel sick to my stomach that we transferred the problem to Sydney.
Anywhere where those passengers went, there is a risk of outbreaks taking off.
New South Wales Health did not respond to 730's questions about the decision to reroute the ship. A spokesman for the Department of Premier and Cabinet said that the Police Commissioner is now managing cruise ship passengers.
I can say the federal government has, either late last night or early this morning, issued notices to any cruise ships in Australian waters to return to your port of commencement.
Bronwyn Meredith is doing everything she can to support her parents from afar.
I hope Mum makes a recovery. I don't want to lose my mother. I don't want to lose my father either. This is breaking my heart every day. And I have to be strong for them.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.